Everybody, I'm late, but we are ready for some Ace Attorney tonight. So, overall plan. I want to do a nice full stream tonight. I do have work in the morning, so I also want to be somewhat responsible in terms of finishing on time. However, it is going to be, well, it seems like we're on track to finish the first episode. I think we got through the first day's activities. So if there are 3 days, and I mean, it's potentially the finale, right? So unless they kind of surprise us one more time. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of pull out all the stops for that. But I would say, I'm curious, by the way, I know where it comes from, but I'm curious if any of you know where the term pull out the stops comes from. A fun one to meditate on. But yeah, I will be trying to finish up Ace Attorney. If that happens, I don't know what Wednesday's stream will be, but I'm curious. And then of course Cyberpunk on Friday. But let's jump back into Ace Attorney, and I'll see what. First of all, I'll see what kind of progress we make, because I suppose the thing I should say is, like, I'm not exactly eager to finish this. This has been a very enjoyable little journey, but I'm also kind of curious to see how this one wraps up. So they've done a good job of, even though I know I'm sort of running out of runway for at least the first game in the trilogy, it's intriguing enough that I kind of want to see where all of this winds up. And I do apologize. I don't remember if I... Oh, crumbs. Sorry, I don't remember if I put up the Ace Attorney tweet. Okay, I did. Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, Day 2, Trial Latter. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface. No matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell you the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was young, at least. Officer Marshall! Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She's wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9. I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. Furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. Seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me. Knock, knock. Who's there? What's with this guy? Strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you! They're really milking this opening. Oh, sorry I'm late. Is it Udge? The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udge? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy? Busy smizzy, Udge, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udge seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Haha, so you're Wright-o, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Huh? Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly! Little worthy? Mr. Wright! You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Skye really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On Little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature. Is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at this blade, the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh, it's making me go to it. So I think when we read the, some of the details about making this game, I think the idea here was that this was a, this was a special DS edition, so this is why it's got sort of the 3 puzzles and such. There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL9-2. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 of DL6 incident fame. But it's strange. Well, why it's this? What is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. Ah! Don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. This dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record, found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. Terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem. Not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case, this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, okay? We haven't exactly announced it yet. Objection! Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order! 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 Anyway, we at the department are all aflustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, Keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay, I do apologize for this, but I didn't go to the bathroom before the start of the stream, and I absolutely should have. So I'm going to take a small break. I think it's fair. It's pretty early in the stream anyway, and I think we're still waiting for a few people to come in anyway. But I'm going to run up. I will put the break screen on. I'm going to take a quick minute away from the screen. I will try to be back quickly. Um, and then we will carry on with some more Phoenix Wright. See you in a little bit. Well, that wasn't a very sensible place for me to stop, was it? So sorry about the wait for that. I took some time to get some tea too. But we are ready for some more of the case. Department in disorder, once more with feeling. I should also probably look at the evidence. Okay, it's if I do present, there's a chance that I'm going to present something as a contradiction by mistake, so I'll try and improvise at this point. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Excuse me, special? Mm-hmm. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now, not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler! Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? How's it going, Vesper? See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about this knife that will give us a clue. It did kind of close us out as soon as we, so this we've seen before. The small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to be? I'm not sure. It reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number? That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. Wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court record again. Alright, what are we going to do with the court? So we've got the victim's shoe, white enamel shoe, bears traces of blood from Goodman, and yeah, so don't need to go further on that. Crime photo taken by Angel Star after the crime was committed. One of the things that's kind of funny is ever since playing the Secret Histories games, I immediately assume everything is supernatural and it's just waiting to kind of bubble up from underneath. All right, I can't see the floor plans doing anything, but oh. I think it's trying to point me to Goodman's note. But I don't quite have... I haven't fully locked in the reasoning yet. Let's stab at that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So how were things down at the department? That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You've got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. Why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. Sorry, forgot the button. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udge? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. Suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one! The kid sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Oh, God. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the Force call a stabbing, with a knife. A knife? It's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. Time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling. I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand? Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together? Whatever it is, I'd better find it and get to the bottom of this. Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Okay, so this was the point where Phoenix said to talk about the evidence that had been perplexing him. So I'm taking a little bit of a flyer here, but this seems to most directly satisfy that that request. Oh, sounds good. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from Udge. This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. Oh, it's the SL9's upside down. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside... It's printed on... the printed name on the memo looks like it's right side up. But when turned around, what do you get? Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? Ah, what game is this guy playing? Hello, Vanguard Master. This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder, it was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. I mean, we kind of already did this, but something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, you didn't ask. No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Edgay? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. Suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. The kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. So I have a feeling I can pick any one of these. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room. Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for this to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. If this is Goodman, I kind of want to do the victim's ID number because I can actually connect that to the ID I have. Okay. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 8, 2... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? ID number of the victim of the police department. 584-2189. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something. What does it tell you?
Take that!
Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. Police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho! Is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto! Personnel IDs are top secret! Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait! That ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. We didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. These two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, ho, ho, sharp as attack, righto, sharp as attack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location. Order! 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 Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Ah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2, unregistered evidence must be must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does that mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over here. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. That's the last thing I do. Better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Or Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, I hope for your sake, I hope it is not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Okay, so I know I took a break not that long ago, but I could actually use a refill of the tea. I'm sorry, I am actually feeling a bit woozy. I think it's just probably the extended time for today. So I'm going to take one more break. I'll try and leave it at that. And again, I should have enough water left to go. For the tea, so it shouldn't take that long. But I'm just gonna try to have a short break, and then we should be able to sort of power through the rest of Phoenix Wright. So I will see you all in a little bit. Okay, sorry about the wait. I realize it's two breaks sort of within a 1 hour period, but I'm hoping that will translate into a slightly livelier stream. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Oh, well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this "and the evidence room" part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits. I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Hey, why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you the glasses. You had an extra pair of those things? Decree, lovely to see you. How you doing tonight? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. Enhance. I could see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a bloodstain? It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? Perpetrator and the detective and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be some, have to have been some more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans with when we find a bloodstain, okay? Doing pretty okay. Encountered a joke, wasn't that bad, but the site dev was around to shit talk him and make you feel okay. That's good. Yeah, Friday I had like a bit of a rough day. And the worst part about me is I tend to brood. So like I was literally up all night over that, which is probably why I'm still sort of paying for it today. But yeah, I'm glad that you had someone come to your defense. See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag that hidden evidence out to the light of day. Yeah! Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Huh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Yeah, it's fine, Kree. I'll get over it. Or I won't. And this will be my new permanent form of life. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see? I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. Before long they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... What do you think about this? The SL9 incident? It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? Really? That knife was evidence from the case, the murder weapon. It was due for a transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? It is very kind of them, by the way, to put the dialogue just there. That's the only reason I'm not maintaining eye contact. Huh. So I don't think this changes anything. Yeah, same. So there doesn't seem to be anything from the conversation. That's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, all right. The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk, and the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky choose his car? So what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe or something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. Maybe it's about time I got my driver's license. All right, men, what model car is this? I mean, presumably there's no cost to me just going crazy. Aha! Blood must be from when Lana... No! My sister isn't the murderer! But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? This has nothing to do with taking sides. So this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. This just keeps getting worse. You can't handle the truth. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Well, this place is classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. You've never seen A Few Good Men? I know there's that Edgeworth murder here somewhere. That's on you if you haven't seen it. February 23rd, Detention Center Visitors Room. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gantz say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Wow, everybody looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. It makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. Not anybody wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. It doesn't look like anybody's going to help us much either. Huh. These are detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at the desks. Okay, I would have thought that we'd be going into the evidence room, but... February 23rd, Police Department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. Suppose it makes sense. The detective did just get killed here after all. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go look. February 23rd, evidence room entrance guard station. What's the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door, it's the evidence room. The scene of the crime? Sure seems that way. Oh, what's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Walter White. Clearly. The swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yeah myself. Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I think that just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more of an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Next time it appears in dialogue. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Then do it! Look on the floor. A lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. Sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Alright, so yeah, I can't see too much for us to work with right now. Maybe... Well, I mean, now I just have to investigate. Oh. Someone used a marker to write their name on this. Emma Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, you never know when something might go down. Just what kind of a world do you think we live in? That's a cute touch, by the way. Alright. Oh, so I don't get to use it just anywhere. Okay. Well, that's tricky. So I was thinking that I would be able to talk with the cough-up queen. So, I think I'm going to go through the evidence with her. Nope, that's not it. I had one of those up till 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. Wish I could be so sure. A body with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car. I think he owes me his gratitude. Gratitude? Well, if I hadn't witnessed the crime, Mr. Edgeworth would have been the suspect. I wonder. Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? Did you take a look at this? You! Yes? You said you wanted some hot tea, right? No, but thanks. She didn't even look at it. You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get a rich flavor like this. We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it! So that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time. Alright. We're gonna have a lot of tea, I think. So what I'm trying to do here, the SL9 details worked, but I don't seem to be talking with her about the case. So I have a hit or miss. Well, okay. One thing is this is currently the only character I can talk with, so I feel like I need to be presenting something at this point. The next little bit of logic here is that we have all of this evidence, some of which seems to have worked in terms of getting her attention. Was when I grabbed the chief prosecutor on the shoulder, she dropped that phone on the pavement. That's when you heard her talking about the muffler, right? Little did I know, it was a trap. Red car's muffler and the prosecutor's red muffler. What was this guy really trying to say, I wonder? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time... That time? Sorry, we've done this a few times, so I just wanted to move. Okay, so as far as evidence goes, I think, okay, there we go. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary. It was solved quite cleanly, and the criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find They never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort, made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. No one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There is only one reason I come to sell lunches to this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie. What? Seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch. I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr. Received from Miss Starr, excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your... are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now, he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Alright, so this would be an indicator to me to go to the guard room. Sorry. February 23rd, Police Department entrance. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that... One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. Criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And the perpetrator. Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everybody's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal. All I know is I need a steak lunch. Pronto. Standing around here isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. So, I mean, it is telling me to go to the detention center, but I'm going back to the guard station. I'm going away from the guard station. February 23rd, detention center, visitor's room. Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but this is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises. I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. I'm so glad you're at the you're a guard here at the detention center. Sorry, so you're a guard here. No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You, Officer Meekins. You didn't. Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Ow! What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there is no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Yes, well, it's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light and other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least somewhere around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? Victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Eek! I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. As an apple, sir, in my dream, sir. I was being peeled. Second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. So I guess I still need to... I guess I'm still talking with Meekins? Okay, sorry, taking a minute to think about this. So it seems that where it's trying to push us would be to talk to Officer Marshall, but Marshall isn't yet at the desk. Presumably, yeah, I don't know, like running through all the Meekins dialogue strikes me as the closest that I can get to doing that, but in terms of talk, we've already exhausted it. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir, really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. You should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir. He's passing the buck, Mr. Wright. It's a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. So I'm trying to think about details of the crime that he would know. So for instance, I don't think Goodman's note is relevant here. Curious how he reacts to this one. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Eek! I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. Okay. Okay, right. So it's basically saying he doesn't recognize anything. So the last one I could try would be the ID. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir. That's it. That's it. That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card. Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I better pry into this one a little deeper. That seems promising. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, or who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's word, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? You still ended up here. You told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Sorry, just dealing with something. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out, it's there. It's me. It's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks. I have my own. I guess we'd better go check out the crime scene. Alright, the game has given me permission to go to the place that I've gone like twice now. Well, I would have thought now would be the time to talk to... I thought I had exhausted the... Yeah. February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there really is, if there is anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha, righto, my boy. How have you been? Swim much? Ho ho ho, Chief Gant. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look so good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fixed it so that he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. You did forge evidence. Excuse me. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they'd do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what the inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you, the detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't just give away all our secrets like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. Wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most about all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detectives trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Oops. I wonder, was that what he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do? See if we can kind of discreetly ask him. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Ah, sorry, Righto. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say. Go find a guy who who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one. The guy who can't sit still. Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the Dancing Blue Badger. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I was thinking when they talk about ask him discreetly, I was thinking like trying to coax the... Not that the Blue Badger would be something out of him, but I was thinking if they're asking coax it out of him discreetly, I thought they were referring to Gad. Oh, excuse me. But it might be that they want us to coax it out of the Chief of Detectives. Sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? See over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. Lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. Goodman's lost item report added to the court record. A half-written document dated 2/21 can only be submitted to the chief of police. Should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Alright, I'm gonna try and take a hint. It keeps directing me to this area, but then it doesn't actually deliver anything. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask... Okay, that permission to enter is a sensible one. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this. Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir. It's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. The ID clearly was not for me. I really don't quite get the layout here. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Ha! Card reader's turned off, see? What's that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my Bambina's skies so gray? Officer Marshall! Why does it always have to be him? What's that why does it always have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here is my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw! Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little dogies. The crime scene's awaiting. It's like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina. I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wild prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I say a little prayer. What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. Just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. In any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Okay, it's the same line. smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas. No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What's wrong? A fillet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. Wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. All right, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins is at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from a detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? The Star told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. Still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've all heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I liked stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand here are these security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID that passes through. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. See now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. That happened to SL9 2 days ago. So, in terms of saying that they're related to the cases, the most obvious one to me would be to show him Goodman's ID. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was in the ground in the parking lot. Number on this is 584-2189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look at the fourth number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Eek! Oh! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Righto. Please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So Chief of Police Gant. I'll loan anyone $50. Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Okay, I'm sorry to do this. I really thought that I was going to be making more progress on this, but I am sort of fading a bit. The tea isn't really helping, and I'm kind of conscious of the hour. So before I go further with this investigation, I think I'm just going to accept the shorter runtime, but that does at least give me the guarantee that I'll be doing more Ace Attorney this week. So I will leave it here. I do apologize for the shorter stream. I was kind of back on track to doing the full 3 hours, but I'm definitely feeling like kind of low today. So I will be back on Wednesday. I'm near certain we will be finishing things up. But yeah, I think I'm probably just gonna crawl into bed. So anyways, thank you everybody for watching tonight. Sorry to end it a little bit early. or an hour early, which is not so much, little bit. But I will make sure that I rest up and I try and do a full stream on Monday. All right, have a good night, everybody.